It's a 2010 Yamaha 115 inline 4-cylinder EFI 4-stroke. Let me get up here real quick. So I just serviced this motor back in February for this customer, and everything's running fine, like you can see. But he said that when he took it out last weekend, the boat's only going about 26 miles per hour. He didn't check the RPMs on it, but he says about going like 26 miles per hour, and it should be going faster than that. I checked everything out for him, hooked up my computer to it. There's no new fault codes or anything like that. Did all the stationary tests, made the spark plug spark, made the injectors go off, and made the high pressure fuel pump go, and all that fun stuff. The ISC valve, or ISS, whatever, valve. So that all checked out. Ran the motor, hooked up my pressure gauge to the fuel rail, and it's within spec at an idle, and it picks up when I give it more throttle, so that's all working good. And when I turn the motor off, it's holding pressure, so everything on that side's good. When I pulled the spark plugs out and checked them out, the number 2 spark plug was pretty fouled and wet. The number 1, number 3, and number 4 spark plugs are clean and dry, and the number 4 spark plug was a lot cleaner than all of them, but the number 2 was definitely a lot more fouled and was not dry, it was wet. So I'm inclined to think that he's having an injector issue. That's what I'm assuming off of everything that I checked out and seen and done and everything. He's only put 2 hours on it since I last serviced it in April, or sorry, in February. It's April now, April 27th, 28th right now. So there's only a couple hours on it since then, but the motor, I mean, I could only do so much in my test tank. I could throttle it up in neutral, but I can't throttle it up in gear because it'll shoot all the water out of it. But with the way the condition of the spark plugs look, with only 2 hours on it, with the number 2 spark plug being wet and fouled, and then all the other 3 being clean, the fuel rail pressure is good, holding pressure, everything else is good. So that's why I think that it might be the number 2 injector. So I could throttle it up. Has no hesitation whatsoever. Everything is working fine. Like, it's instantaneous. There's no hesitation, nothing like that. So I'm gonna let the customer know what I seen, what I found. See if he wants me to send the injectors in to get serviced. It's a 2010 motor with 194 hours on it. I serviced it at 192 hours. Like I said, he was only put 2 hours on it in the one day that he took it out last weekend. So everything else is fine. It starts right up. It's piston water grade. I did a whole bunch of work to the motor, new thermostats. The customer put the spark plugs in. I made sure the correct spark plugs and gapped right and all that stuff. New anodes, new water pump kit, yeah, everything, the whole 9. The fuel water separating filter on the motor and inside the boat, a whole bunch of stuff. Gear oil, motor oil, oil filter, all that fun stuff. But the motor's running perfectly fine here. The only, like I said, the only thing that looked off was that number 2 spark plug. How it was fouled, and the other 3 were clean, and now I have pictures of that and stuff, and it was wet too. So yeah, I'll talk to the customer and see what he wants me to do next.